Hey everybody, Den Haring here. Welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365. Today we're out on Blue Marsh Reservoir fishing for whatever we can get to bite. Here's a nice smallmouth I caught on a blade bait. Bass Pro Shops laser blade, out in about 22 feet of water. Look how light this fish is. He's been out deep. Let's see what else we can get out here. Thank you, buddy. That was fun. Uh-oh. Oh, you're good. Maybe they come in here this time of year. That fish was in 22 feet of water. I saw him on the fish finder down below me. I had that blade bait down there working it. I felt him hit it. I missed him. I jiggled it a few times, lifted it up once, let it go back down, and boom, he was all over it. It's a hard hit. This one came on a swim bait. He's probably laying on the bottom. I was just dragging it real slowly. Long, thin fish. Pretty. Another light colored smallmouth. Look at that olive head on it. That's pretty cool.
You know, I was out there on Saturday, January 11th, my first time out in the new year. Happy New Year, by the way, everybody. Hope it's a great fishing year for you. But we were out in Blue Marsh and went out on a Saturday when the weather was quite warm. We had temperatures nearly 60 degrees. And so I felt I'd try and take advantage of that weather and go fishing, because there won't be many days left now this year where you can fish until spring. Even so, the week before, just a week and a half before, that water where I was fishing was frozen over. It was actually frozen ice on top. So that water was cold. It was 40 degrees. And when it's that cold, you have to understand that you're not going to go out and catch fish and slam them every time out. The water's cold. You have to find the fish. They're bunched up at this time of year, or at least they tend to do that. But it doesn't mean that you're going to catch a lot of them, even if you do find them. Sometimes they're just down there and they're not active at all, and it's difficult to catch them. So I was fortunate to catch what I did. You know, I went out there in the hopes of finding some hybrid stripers, looked for them, spent more than an hour, probably an hour and a half, just driving around the lake looking for them, and I never did find them. And so I did find a couple of fish, these smallmouths, and the key for the smallmouths was the depth that they were in. The first smallmouth that I caught, I actually saw the fish on my fish finder. He was on the bottom, just slightly off the bottom. And I thought, well, I might be able to catch him with a blade bait. And I was using this, a Bass Pro Shops laser blade. This is a chrome black color. I always put my own hooks on. These are Gamakatsu number 4 EWGs, and I put split rings on there. Actually, this bait comes with split rings. That allows the hook to swing around freely in case when you do catch a fish on it doesn't wedge off so easily. So that's what we were doing. We were just throwing this out there, and I saw that fish and I thought, well, I'll work this blade bait, and he actually hit it and I missed him. And I let it go back down again. I jiggled it a few times, lifted it up once, had it go back down, and he slammed it. And that's how I caught that first fish. After I caught that fish is really when I started going around looking for hybrids. You know, I got a fish under my belt and I thought, well, let's go around and see what else we can find. But as the day went on, it became apparent that either I was not where they were or they were spread out and I just wasn't going to find them. And I searched in water depths from 30 feet all the way to 15 feet, but I never did find them. It's possible, and most of my search was in the 20s, in the 20 range. It's possible that some of these fish were already in wintering holes and deeper. It's possible they were shallower because it was a warm day and cloudy day. So I fished shallower but didn't catch any. That second smallmouth I caught, the long one, the long skinny one, I caught on this. This is a bait that I used the last time out when I caught the crappies. This is a Hazadong shad, and the color of this one is called green pumpkin shad. It's got like a green pumpkin back on it and a kind of like a shad looking belly, but the color together actually kind of looks like a perch or a perchy type color here too, which there are quite a few perch in Blue Marsh. And then I was just using a tungsten round head jig head. This is a Kitech jig head. Just throwing it out there. This one's probably about a 1/4 ounce. Throwing it out there, just letting it go to the bottom, and then just reeling it extremely slowly along the bottom or just slightly above the bottom. And every now and then I'd pause and stop it to make sure that I had contact with the bottom, because I didn't want to have the bait too far off the bottom. I wanted it close to the bottom throughout the majority of the retrieve. And the key to catching that second smallmouth was the depth. He was in the exact same depth as the first one, 22 feet. He was several hundred yards away from where I caught the first one, but he was using a similar structural element, and he was in that same depth. And that's how I caught that fish. I stopped looking for the stripers, and I said, I'll start searching by throwing something where I can cover some water, and that's where this bait came in. You can throw this out there, let it go down to the bottom, cover the water, and then just continue on down and fish that 22-foot contour line. And that's what we did to catch that second fish. So we're getting into a time of the year now where, you know, the temperatures are going to start getting cold again. They're talking about maybe a major snowstorm this weekend. It's going to be a little warmer tomorrow, maybe 45. Today it's like 38 degrees. But soon it's going to get cold and stay cold for a while, and that's what the long-range forecast is looking like. The week after next, it looks like temperatures are going to be highs in the high 20s, lows in the teens, and once that happens for a long enough period of time, the water will start freezing over and I won't be able to get out there with the boat anymore. So this is a good time of year to start doing other things like organizing tackle, oiling rods and oiling reels, and taking care of rods, spooling new line on your reels. And if you're like me and you have, you know, the number of rods and reels I have, it takes some time to do that. So that's kind of one of the things that we can do this year. And as I get into some of those, I'll probably make some videos. But if there's any questions that you have or anything you'd like to see me make a video on, just let me know. Even if whether it's a method for oiling reels, or, you know, how I change out my line each year to specialized baits, if you'd like me to do a review on a particular bait, put it in the comments and I'd be happy to do that. Well, I think the window for us being able to fish in boats right now is starting to narrow, but we'll see. You never know. We could get another warm trend in a few weeks that will allow us to get back out there. I sure hope so. If not, if it looks like it's going to continue to stay cold and ice over, I'll get the boats winterized and I'll be ready for spring. Remember, keep it tuned here. If you like the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. When you do, hit that bell. That'll give you a notification for when my next video is available. Remember, we're all about the art and science of fishing. We're certified Bassified, and may God bless you and your fishing endeavors.